Hi, I'm Darcy Young with the Sarasota Bay Estuary Program. If you like boating, fishing, or birding, then by default, you're a seagrass fan. That's because seagrass meadows are integral to life in and around Sarasota Bay. Today, we're going to discover why seagrass meadows are important and find out how we can protect them when we're out on the water.
An area of seagrass the size of a 3-car garage will produce enough oxygen for one person for the entire day. The seagrass beds in Sarasota Bay alone produce enough oxygen for everyone in Sarasota and Manatee County to breathe easily.
Sarasota Bay is home to over 1,400 different kinds of plants and animals that rely on healthy seagrass meadows for food, shelter, and clean water.
Seagrass are extremely important for fish. Seagrass are used by almost 80 to 85% of the species that we use recreational and commercially.
In addition to supporting the plants and animals that live in Sarasota Bay, seagrass meadows reduce storm surge and support coastal resiliency and our local tourism economy.
Seagrasses are actually fantastic after storm events. They help an area to recover much more quickly. They actually stabilize the sea floor. So a lot of erosion that can happen after a big storm event, seagrasses can help prevent that, especially when working together with mangroves.
Seagrasses are a very important component of the overall health of Sarasota Bay, which leads to the bay being an economic driver for a large portion of our economy. We have lots of boaters, lots of fishermen that use the bay, that benefit from clear water and abundant seagrasses.
One of the threats to healthy seagrass meadows in Sarasota Bay is damage from boating. Sarasota Bay is shallow, and about half of the bay bottom is covered in seagrass meadows, which means that even experienced boaters run aground sometimes. When boats run too shallow over seagrass beds, they can cause propeller or prop scarring. Prop scarring not only reduces the benefits of seagrass beds, but it can also be costly to boaters.
There absolutely can be a lot of damage from boat running aground into seagrass or sandbar areas, and that can range from minor prop damage to total catastrophic engine failure.
The people that use the resources, the people that go out there fishing, you need to be responsible. If you damage seagrass, let's say with the prop scars, or you run over seagrass beds, it might take years for them to recover.
To get towed off a seagrass bed after running on there can cost anywhere from probably $300–400 to probably a couple thousand, depending on how far you're in, how much you're stuck, how long it takes the captain to get you back off.
Today we're going to head out on the water to demonstrate some of the simple ways that you can avoid prop scarring. There are a few things that you can do to avoid scarring seagrasses and running aground. I'm here in beautiful Sarasota Bay with my friend Larry Stoltz with Sarasota Bay Watch. He's going to give us some tips for boating safely in shallow water. So Larry, what can we do before we even get out on the water?
Well, Darcy, planning ahead is really important, and there's 3 simple things that you can do right up front before you even get on the boat. One is get some nice polarized sunglasses. They help you see into the water, and you can gauge the depth of the water much better if you have polarized sunglasses. Secondly, know what the tides are doing. Know whether the tide's coming in or going out. Also know whether the tide is already high or low, because this affects where the shallows are and whether you run aground or not. Know how much draft your boat takes, how much water your boat requires to float. Most boats this size are about 2.5 to 3 feet. If you're getting into 3 feet of water, you need to be really careful because you're about to hit bottom.
Okay, so if we do get in trouble and get stuck, what do we do?
Just stop your motor and you have to assess your situation. Again, if you're on an outgoing tide, you need to act quickly because the water underneath you is getting shallower and shallower by the minute. If you're on an incoming tide, maybe you check your messages, maybe you fish a little bit and let the bay fill up a little more and you can easily back out. One of the first things, if you are just soft aground and not a hard aground, is lift up your motor with the trim, shift some of the weight. Usually the bow is what hits first and will be stuck on the shallows. Maybe you can shift a little weight to the stern. Or, this is always the safest, is to get a paddle, either paddle your way out or use it as a push-pull and push your way out. Finally, you need to get some of the weight out of the boat. So that means 1 or more people need to get overboard and let the boat float higher, and then everyone push it off towards the deeper water and then get back on.
So we've run really hard aground. It happens. We got out of the boat so that we can try to push our boat off of these shallow areas. Larry, can you tell me the first step?
Well, Darcy, we've raised the motor, we've gotten the weight out of the boat. The boat's floating a little higher in the water now, and we're just going to push it right back where we came from into deeper water, and then we'll board on our boarding ladder when we get out into better water.
Thanks for boating with us today. For more information, you can visit us online at sarasotabay.org.
Seagrass keeps the bay alive, right?